Fidelis Care offers quality, affordable health coverage for children and adults of all ages and at all stages of life. Quality health coverage, it's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Each and every week at this time, we're going to take a look at our local college sports programs. We begin this week with the Honor Roll of Local College Athletes, brought to you by M&T Bank. At M&T Bank, we're listening, learning, and working hard to understand what's important to Western New York. It's what we've been doing since 1856. M&T Bank, understanding what's important. At number 3, it's Hudson Wheel of the MCC men's lacrosse team. He had a huge day, scoring 7 goals with 4 assists in a 25-10 win for the Tribunes over SUNY Broome. At number 2, Jack Giudice of Brockport men's lacrosse became the all-time points leader for the Golden Eagles. The senior from Webster Thomas set the record with back-to-back goals in a 12-5 win versus Lycoming. And Haley Devona tops our list. She's from Nazareth. She scored 2 goals for the Golden Flyers women's lacrosse team in a 16-8 win over Hartwick and crossed the 100-goal threshold in the process. The junior leads Naz with 17 goals on the year. Well, it's time now for our local college spotlight athlete of the week, brought to you by Ralph Honda. This week's athlete of the week brought to you by Ralph Honda, where they've been doing it right for 3 generations. Visit their new showroom or find your next car online at ralphhonda.com. The RIT baseball team can't wait to get back on the field, and team captain Will Gorman is a big reason why. Here's Kim Burnson.
He's a guy that certainly lets his hitting do the talking. RIT senior Will Gorman is smashing school records and setting the bar high for those to follow. Last spring alone, Gorman set single-season records for home runs, RBIs, hits, and total bases. Yet it still wasn't quite enough to get the Tigers to where they wanted to be.
2 years ago, we ended up in the conference finals, and it was a great feeling, and we fully expected to be back in playoffs and in the conference finals again, and we ended up 1 game short of making conference playoffs. So we missed out on playoffs last year, so 1 game. It's kind of been the mentality for the team is 1 game, what's going to be the difference this year. So it's been a little extra work, a little bit more team chemistry, and a really good job by the team leaders. Our captains, Will Gorman, Brett Kajanik, and Mike Myers have led the way, but really there's a lot of leaders on the team this year, so we're in a good spot.
Aside from what he does at the plate, Gorman now plays an even bigger role as a leader and team captain, something Coach Rob Groh is hoping leads them to the postseason.
He became such a good player his junior year that he realized his actions affected everybody else, and how he conducted himself rubbed off on everybody else. So he's become much more aware of his actions affecting other people. So in that respect, he's been leading by example and being much more team-oriented the last 2 years rather than an individual.
Gorman earned first team All-Liberty League for a 2nd consecutive year and was a 2017 preseason All-American. He's coming off a season where he led the league with 8 home runs, 52 RBIs, and 107 total bases. Gorman now finds himself only a few home runs away from breaking the all-time home run record at RIT.
A lot of my mental preparation is done in the on-deck circle. I'm usually looking at the pitcher, kind of timing him up. Also seeing how he's thrown to the previous batters in that inning. That's really big to see what kind of an approach he has for them, because I really just want to go up there and compete with him. And it's kind of tough. Sometimes they won't really want to compete, and they'll just try to pitch around you, and that's when I really need to be careful. But
Will's a little bit different. You know, he's a bigger guy. He's a little bit freakish when it comes to athletic ability. And what's developed most with him is mentality and approach. He's understanding better how people will attack him, so he's more prepared. He's a more patient hitter, and he's gotten much better at his approach. His abilities have always been there, but his approach is much better now.
Every season brings more growth for Gorman as a player. He's become one of the most reliable players at bat for the Tigers with a .362 batting average.
When it comes to your consistency, how do you maintain that? Because that's something that's really tough to do.
Well, with consistency, there's stuff that you can control and stuff you can't control. I usually just try to consistently make good contact with the baseball. Sometimes those will turn out to be outs. You might go hitless in that game and still make really good contact with the ball. So that's what I always gear towards is, all right, I just need to stay on this pitcher and hit the ball hard, and whatever else happens.
Yeah, with Will, he can have such a big impact on a game. Just his presence in the lineup, he's going to get pitched differently. They're going to be careful with him, so it makes everybody around him better. The guy that hits in front of him gets more pitches to hit. The guy that hits behind him has more opportunities to drive people in because they're not going to pitch to Will quite as much. So we let him go, but we talk to him a lot about each at-bat when we feel like he might be going in the wrong direction.
Though he's currently pursuing a degree in chemical engineering, Gorman is hopeful that baseball has a place in his future as well.
But I think he can play professional baseball. He has the body, he has the desire, his work ethic is there. He doesn't get sidetracked with things. He does school and baseball here, and I know if he gets a chance to play professionally, he'll give it everything he's got, and he'll make an organization very proud of having chosen him. So I hope he gets to play pro baseball.
I think it's every baseball player's dream to move on with it. Potentially, if I can, I would love to play professional baseball. That's the only part of that that's in my hands. Is I just need to play well this year and see what happens.
Go get it, boys.
I'm Kim Burnson with the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat.
Tigers on 3. 1, 2, 3, Tigers! Los Tigres.
When we return, JC DeLass welcomes St. John Fisher College baseball coach Brandon Potter into the Coach's Corner. And later on, Kim is back with our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave. We've got that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Nazareth Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Nazareth College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the Geneseo Athletes of the Week, brought to you by SUNY Geneseo. Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Each week, JC DeLass from WYSL Radio will help us get to know an area coach better with the Fidelis Care Coach's Corner. The Fidelis Care Coach's Corner is presented by Fidelis Care, quality health coverage. It's our mission.
This is JC DeLass with this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner, and our guest this week is Brandon Potter. He's the head baseball coach at St. John Fisher College. Coach, you're in your 8th season as head coach at St. John Fisher, also a graduate here of this college. How do you think that helps you to relate to the challenges that your student athletes have here in maintaining their studies and also balancing their sports careers?
Well, I obviously went through it, so I can relate to what they're going through, especially some of the majors that that I was in. It's a great school to go to, and it's a great school to play sports and athletics and get a good education. So it works well. It's a good balance. I can relate to what they're going through, the time and effort and energy they need to put into not only sports or baseball specifically for us, but also academics.
Last year, you led your team to the College World Series, 39 wins. Does that raise the level of expectations now for your program?
I believe so, and what we talk to the team a lot about is I think it raises the level of responsibility, right? Like, so the more and more you win, the higher you are in polls and whatnot, it's more responsibility. So it's a lot to take on, and it's a lot more to shoulder, but really competitive guys and guys that want to win and be successful, they want to do that.
Western New York certainly not known as a hotbed for baseball, especially at this level. How do you maintain your success in this area, again, trying to find the right kids that fit your program?
We're pretty specific about what we look for, not only on the field, but in the classroom, the family dynamic, a lot of different things play a factor in it, but we want kids that are passionate about baseball, have energy, effort, disciplined, and are accountable on the field, off the field, in the classroom. So it's a balance you need to find. We look for very specific kids, and it's a challenge, but we're all over the place recruiting, Western New York and PA and Central New York, Eastern New York, New Jersey, and you get a pretty good rapport with certain coaches out there, high school coaches, summer coaches, and you can find those types of guys.
As you talked about, you're going all around the Northeast. It really does kind of raise the profile of St. John Fisher.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you a specific number, but I think we have the most out-of-state student athletes on the baseball team, and kids from PA, Virginia, New Jersey, New Hampshire. So we have kids from all over the place, and if they fit what we're looking for, and obviously academics fits for them, we'll recruit them, yeah.
What do you tell the current high school athletes that are thinking about continuing their careers, both academically but also athletically at the college level? What do you tell them now to prepare themselves?
I think there's a spot for every kid. If a kid's in high school and he wants to play college athletics, there's a spot for him. You know, maybe it's not Fisher, maybe it's not somewhere else, but there is a spot for him, and he needs to find where that spot is, where it fits academically, where it fits, you know, is he going to play, what part is he going to play, what role on a team, and then the athletic part, you know, your level that you can play at, and are you going to play, what's important to you. Some guys it's really important that they play right away. Some guys it's important that they're on a winning team or a winning program. So you just need to figure out what you want and probably do a little bit of research and contact coaches and go on visits and whatnot, and you'll find it.
Thanks for joining us, Coach. And thank you for watching this week's Fidelis Care Coach's Corner.
Up next is our Scholar Athlete, and later on a look at the women's lacrosse team at the U of R. We'll have that and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. Before we go to break, here's a look at the RIT Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the Rochester Institute of Technology. As we come back from break, here's a look at the SUNY Brockport Athletes of the Week, brought to you by the College at Brockport.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave, Digital Audio Visual Environments.
Where can you go to get expert advice and installation on TVs, sound systems, and automation for your home, car, or business? Come see Dave, Digital Audio Visual Environments. ComeSeeDave.com.
Our Scholar Athlete this week is Kate Rothrock of Nazareth College. Kate is a senior with the Golden Flyers lacrosse team. She's earned first team Empire 8 Conference honors and second team All-Empire Region honors. Kate is on the Coaches Association Sports Academic Honor Roll for having a GPA above 3.5 while pursuing a nursing degree. Nominated for her work on the field and in the classroom, this week Kate Rothrock is our Scholar Athlete, brought to you by Dave, Digital Audio Visual Environments. Now here's Dave Yates with a look at our college calendar.
Well, here's our local college calendar for the week ahead. Lots of action today, kicking off with Roberts Wesleyan Women's Lacrosse versus Queens College at noon. Also at noon, catch a doubleheader as U of R baseball battles Clarkson at Towers Field. Then at 1 p.m., Nazareth softball hosts Elmira College for a twin bill. Softball action continues on Tuesday with Geneseo hosting Keuka College for 2 games starting at 3 p.m. Wednesday has some good baseball matchups, including a big game between RIT and Fisher at 3:30 at Tiger Stadium. Also, Brockport hosts Ithaca at 4. The Golden Eagles also host Fisher Friday at 4 p.m. And finally on Saturday, the outdoor track season kicks in gear with the Rock City Classic hosted by Nazareth at 10 a.m. Brockport, Fisher, Geneseo, RIT, Roberts, and the U of R will all be there. And now here's how some Section 5 alums are doing at colleges outside of Rochester. It's a segment we call Postcards from College. Nate Soucies out of Fairport had a big first year with Penn State hockey, finishing third on the team in goals with 17 and scoring a goal versus Union in the NCAA Tournament Midwest Regionals. Dale Wickham from Victor is off to a hot start with Cornell baseball, hitting .357 in his first 7 games. Madeline Kopp from Spencerport continues to make news for Duke. This time she was part of a winning medley relay at the Raleigh Relays, a time that was good for 4th best in Duke history. And Mercy grad Kelsey Johnson is in her 3rd year at Syracuse and recently went 2 for 4 with a steal versus Central Michigan. Those are our postcards from college. Coming up next, it's our honor roll of local teams, and later on, the women's lacrosse team at U of R is on the fast track to the next level. We'll have that story and more when the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat returns. As we head to break, here's a look at the Roberts Wesleyan Athletes of the Week, brought to you by Roberts Wesleyan College. As we come back from break, here's a look at the St. John Fisher Athletes of the Week, brought to you by St. John Fisher College. Welcome back, and thanks once again for joining us on the Fidelis Care College Sports Beat. I'm Dave Yates. Here is our honor roll of local college teams. We're going to start at number 3, the Geneseo men's lacrosse squad. They beat Olivet 18-11 to move to 4-1 on the year. Sophomore Jack Ladd had 2 goals and 2 assists in the win. At number 2, it's Brockport women's lacrosse. They remained unbeaten with a big second half versus Montclair. The 12th-ranked Golden Eagles scored 11 times in the second half to win 17-7. And topping the list, the University of Rochester women's lacrosse squad. They beat a tough Geneseo team 12-3 behind 5 goals and 2 assists from Jamie Wallish. And now it's time for our Spotlight Team of the Week, and we're going to stay at the U of R for a closer look at the Yellow Jackets, who are on the fast track. There's a country song out right now called Fast. One of the lines says, "That's the kind of boys you want on your home team." Well, the same can be said about a women's lacrosse team. And that's the case with this year's U of R squad. The Yellow Jackets have players who can run, and lots of them.
I mean, we have depth throughout the entire field. From defense to middies to attack, anybody can play any role at any given day. So it's not a one-woman show. It's everybody has to be integrated in all the games and in all the plays. So it's really a collective team effort, and everybody is willing to step up in any given game to do what needs to be done.
So excited. I'm so excited to see where this season will take us. We've worked really hard in the off season and everything, and I think that we have a lot of potential this year.
This is the team that has the most depth that I've been on at the University of Rochester, and you have to take advantage of that. I think we're the most athletic that we've ever been, and so to be able just to take advantage of that and really be able to use your athletic ability in a game like lacrosse, I think can really just excel and really push you to a whole nother level. So I think she's really seeing that and taking advantage of it.
Wallish and Levy finished 1-2 on the team in scoring last season. Number 3 was Mara Karp. It's a trio that has developed a knack for knowing just what the others are going to do and taking advantage of it.
I think us three, we've been playing together for a really long time, and we know each other's cues, and we know who's going to be where, when, and that really helps us to read each other and get a good look on the ball. So I'm primarily a feeder. I really love feeding my teammates. Like, I love to see one of my teammates open and give them a ball and to have them score. That's like my favorite thing to do.
Karp plays the role of feeder on the attack, a job that takes a specific skill set to be good at.
I think just it requires a lot of lacrosse IQ. I think that I like to have really good field vision. I think I have good field vision. And that helps me kind of see where the open people are, how to get them the ball, and obviously executing the pass to get it to them.
Wallish is the recipient of a lot of those feeds, and with 36 goals last year, she sure knows what to do with them. Funny how in a team with so much speed, sometimes patience can be the key.
You know, it's all about timing. Timing is everything, and Coach always says it's better to cut late than sooner, and so I really just try to look for the opportunity, kind of work with my teammates, move around them. It's all about a flow and emotion. So once you kind of have that integrated within the team and you know how your teammates flow, then you can kind of mold your own individual flow within that. And so I think we really work great together. And that's, you kind of just see the opportunity and you have to trust your teammates that they'll say you. And that's, I think, how it works well.
It's going to take a combination of everything to achieve their goal of a postseason berth. Playing in the Liberty League means a stiff test every time they take the field.
I believe that our league has gotten a lot more competitive since my first year here, but like I said, a lot of teams have gotten better, but so can we. And sometimes it's very unpredictable who will beat who, and so it's always exciting year after year to see what teams improve, what teams are still building, and that kind of thing. So I think that this year will be an improvement year for us, hopefully.
They're off to a fast start, and about the only thing that slowed them down has been the wind and the snow that forced them to cancel games and shift practice schedules. But it also gave them more time to bond off the field, which they took full advantage of.
We unfortunately have had some games canceled in the past week, but that means that we've been together for spring break, which has been really great, just a little team bonding, which never hurts. It's definitely an adventure. You never know what you're going to get every day. It's either really cold or really warm, or the weather's really up and down, but we really like it. We love playing in the snow, and it's a good time.
It's hard mentally to be able to kind of push through that, but at the same time, it also makes you mentally stronger and tougher. And we've been able to be together as a team during this time and just kind of bond and connect off the fields, which is obviously extremely important on the field. And so we're not trying to look at it like a negative, but a positive, and try to take advantage of this time. And if we're not playing games or practicing, we're doing something to benefit the team elsewhere. So we're always looking at it as a positive. So.
Well, thanks everyone for watching, and a special thanks to our sponsors, including Fidelis Care, for making the College Sports Beat possible. We'll see you back here next week.